All right, welcome to this video lesson on Capitulum Trigesimum 35, and we're picking up at De Participio here. All right, the teacher says, Participium quid est? Participle, what's it? And the student says, Pars rationis partem capiens nominis, a part of speech taking a part of a noun, or in this case maybe an adjective, partem verbi, part of a verb. Okay, so it's sort of partly like a noun slash adjective and partly like a verb. Nominis genera, the genders of the noun or adjective, et casus, and the cases, verbi tempora et significationes, the times or tenses and meanings of verbs, of a verb rather, utriusque numerum, the number of each of them, that is, of both the noun and the verb. All right, and the teacher says, genera participiorum quot sunt? How many genders of participles are there? And the student says, quator, 4. And the teacher says, quae, what are they? Masculinum, says the student, ut hic lectus, masculine, as this having been read. Here you might expect something like hic liber lectus, this book having been read, in that example. And then femininum, the feminine, ut haec lecta, as this having been read. And here you might understand something like haec epistula lecta, this letter having been read. Neutrum, ut hoc lectum, neuter, as this having been read. And here you might understand hoc verbum lectum, this word having been read. Commune tribus generibus, and the common gender with 3 genders, ut hic et haec et hoc legens. All right, and basically what it means is legens, the present participle, is a nominative singular for all 3 genders, right? So it's common gender. It can apply to more than one, right? Hic legens, this guy reading, haec legens, this woman reading, et hoc legens, this, monster, hoc monstrum legens, this monster reading, just as an example. All right, the teacher asks, casus participiorum quot sunt? The cases of participles, how many are they? And the student says 6. Qui, what are they? Nominativus ut hic legens, nominative, as this guy reading. Genitivus, genitive, ut huius legentis, as of this guy reading. Dativus, ut huic legenti, dative, as to or for this guy reading. Accusativus, accusative, ut hunc legentem, as this guy reading in, of course, the direct object accusative case. Vocativus, vocative, ut o legens, o reading person. Ablativus, ut ab hoc legente, as by this reading person, okay, or from this reading person, we could say. And then the teacher asks the question, tempora participiorum quot sunt? The times or tenses of participles, how many are they? And the student says tria, 3. Now notice it's tria, not tres, because tempora is a neuter word, right? Quae, what are they? Praesens ut legens, present, as reading. And notice our word present comes from praesens here, which is, present is basically being in front of you. That's what it means, right? And it is a present participle in Latin, and that ns, nt is where we get the nt in present in English. So, praesens ut legens, praeteritum ut lectus, past as having been read. And now another word we can use in Latin for praeteritum here would be perfectum, and that's where we get perfect from. So that having been completed thing. Praeteritum is where we get the word preterite, which is an English word that refers to past tenses sometimes. Okay, so praeteritum or perfectum, ut lectus, like lectus, having been read. And then, finally, futurum, future, ut lecturus, et legendus, as, for example, lecturus, meaning going to read. That's a future active participle. Notice the stem from the fourth part, lect, and then the UR infix. And legendus here is a so-called future passive participle, which we also call the gerundive. Literally, it's like to be read. Like I could talk about a liber legendus, a book that is to be read, like I really ought to read it. Okay, the teacher then says, numeri participiorum quod sunt, the numbers of the participles, how many are they? And the student says, duo, two of them. Qui, what are they? Singularis ut hic legens, singular as this person reading. Pluralis ut hi legentes, plural as these people reading. And then the teacher says, da declinationem participi, give the declension of a participle. And notice the ... because thank you goodness we didn't get the charts like this. All right, well, that concludes that section. We'll pick up in another one with conjunctione, which is de conjunctione, is about a conjunction, or the conjunction. Volete.